Good evening. Today is Monday, the 7th of March 2022. The time is 8 p.m. in Canberra. We will begin the weekly Bangla radio program from Canberra 2XX Community Radio Station. This program is being broadcasted by the courtesy of Community Broadcasting Foundation Limited and Bangladesh Australia Association Canberra. Every Monday at 8 p.m, this program is broadcasted on FM 98.3 MHz. Today, the program is presented by me, Adiba Ahmed, and
me, Adine Zahid.
Tonight's program will be about the global social media phenomenon that is TikTok. Yeah, so before we talk about TikTok, Adnan, I actually wanted to tell you about a very similar app that existed before called Vine. So it was a social media platform and it let their users create, upload and consume short-form video content. The videos at first were 6 seconds long. Kind of fed into the whole, the current generation's short-term attention span. In fact, I could probably credit Vine and then I could credit TikTok even more to my attention span declining. But over time, they also did expand the 6 seconds to a bit longer to 130 seconds as they realized people did want those diverse options. So Vine was originally founded in June 2012 and then Twitter acquired it in October before it officially released in January 2013. So videos on Vines, they could either be shot and edited directly inside of the app or just uploaded. And Vine worked just like most other social media platforms. Users could follow other creators, like content, and experiment with hashtags. The app also was used to browse videos as well as group videos that were uploaded by theme. So videos published on Vine could also be shared on different social networking platforms.
Yeah. I don't even know what the Vine app looks like. What is it? Was it green? I'm just assuming it's green because it's a vine. That's the first thing I think of.
Oh, that's so smart. I don't think I've ever thought of Vine like the leaves on a vine. Vine had over 200 million active users. But on October 27th, 2016, Twitter announced it would disable all uploads, but people could still watch and download what was currently there. And a few months after that, they created an archive of every Vine video ever published, but this was discontinued in April 2019. So Vine primarily shut down because it failed to support its content creators due to the high levels of competition, the lack of monetization and advertising options, personnel turnover, as well as issues at the parent company Twitter. Vine was a notable phenomenon because of the short videos, which were a little bit unique at the time because it plays on the current and future generation's tendency towards short attention spans, as I was mentioning before. And other forms of social media had to compete. So Snapchat, for example, added 10-second video sharing in December 2012, which was only a couple of months after. And then Instagram added 15-second video sharing in June 2013, and since then, Instagram has also increased its video functionality to what it is now. Like we see that Instagram
60 seconds, I think.
Yeah, 60 seconds. More. I think it can do even more. And they have things like Instagram Live. They have, Instagram TV. So Instagram has really sort of brought, because Instagram originally was a photo sharing app, for example. It didn't really have, it wasn't trying to go for videos, but clearly it seems the indication is
popular.
So clearly Instagram found that it needed to diversify from just still photos and started going into more of the videos sort of sphere. And YouTube also found that it would have to compete because YouTube tended to be 10 minutes or longer videos. It had to be, originally I think it was 10 minutes because that's how much you needed in order to potentially get monetized. And then longer videos weren't necessarily too common, but nowadays there's a whole variety on YouTube. But in order to compete with Vine, YouTube actually launched something called a GIF creator. So YouTube launched a GIF creator in 2014, which allowed any 6 seconds of existing YouTube video that would be supported to be converted into a GIF. So you almost got a little quick summary of a video.
Does that still exist? I've literally never heard of that.
No, that doesn't. So that really only came to play in 2014 to try and compete against Vine. So it doesn't actually.
And I think it failed. They wanted to make it work. But
I don't know. I feel like when we use such strict words, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I feel like we can't necessarily make the call that something failed. We don't we don't really know, the history behind it in detail and sort of the stats and the metrics into what, like, basically, like, if we wanted to sort of define failure as something that no longer exists, then totally YouTube failed. But funnily enough, I'll also mention a bit later, but YouTube is now competing with TikTok with something called Shorts. Have you seen Shorts?
Yes. I have seen Shorts. Yep.
Yeah. So,
like very briefly, yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of TikTok was created a few months before the discontinuation of Vine. TikTok is similar to Vine in that they both are simple short video platforms, but TikTok has the added option of duet, meaning that two different TikTok creators may collaborate at different times to create a final video. And when TikTok was becoming popular, The Verge called it the closest thing we'll ever get to having Vine back. So TikTok is technically not much younger than Vine because TikTok came from something called Musical.ly. And Musical.ly was introduced only a year after Vine's inception. But because Vine shut down, TikTok exploded in popularity in the late 2010s and also now.
Had him, bitch, that's my trash, you the maid, so you dead. Classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty, hacking, stupid, what's happening, bitch, what's happening, bitch,
So what is TikTok? TikTok is a short-form video sharing app that allows users to create and share a variety of short-form music videos from all different types of genres, like pranks, stunts, tricks, jokes. Dance is probably one of the biggest ones that is on there. A lot of people do dance and variations of dance and dance trends, along with other entertaining kind of videos. So I would say that the most TikToks are from 15, and I think the max you can have it up to is 3 minutes. So TikTok maintains a separate app for the Chinese market, which actually has over 300 million active monthly users. Musical.ly was a popular short-form 15-second video streaming and sharing app. The app allowed users to kind of use music and dialogue, which they could lip sync to and make funny or entertaining videos. The app was really popular with some content creators rising to Hall of Fame based on their engaging content on Musical.ly. And the users shared Musical.ly videos on social media platforms like Instagram to kind of keep increasing and driving the app's popularity. However, in 2018, on August of 2018, the app was actually taken over by a Chinese company, ByteDance, and all of its users were moved over to TikTok. And all the content and account that was presently on Musical.ly was automatically transferred to the new app. That is definitely where TikTok started from Musical.ly, and it still kind of has a lot of that content, the lip syncing and music, but there's much more of a wide selection. You basically got you've got the option of adding different sounds and song snippets. You can add special effects and filters. You can also directly just add videos created on your phone, so you can make almost like I've seen on my feed, and it's not called a feed on TikTok, it's called an FYP, a For You page. So that's something new. So that is a new kind of term that was created out of TikTok. TikTok also has a digital well-being feature that alerts users when they spend over 2 hours on the app.
What contributed to the success of TikTok, do you think?
I think like it just made sharing videos really, really easy, and there were short videos. So absolutely anyone and everyone can kind of share their own videos on the app. I think also like the sound functionality, like the fact that you can kind of sync it makes it really easy. Like I edited a video the other day on TikTok and I was like, didn't think it was going to be as easy as it actually was. It's very intuitive. The way that they allow, like the user experience is really, really good. And people like editing videos. Like we've had home movies, we've had VCR for years, right? But those things don't exist anymore because why carry around a chunky, clunky device, like an additional device that's kind of thick and like has, memory limitations when you can do it all on your phone in one app. So you can do all of that. You can, edit video, you can share it, you can view it, you can like it, you can react to it, you can show it to friends, you can show it to family, you can show it to the whole world. So it's just taken like video, which we've, had for years, to the next level.
Yeah, so it's really simplified video creation and sharing it, yeah. And especially due to the short format, like neither the creating of the video or watching it really takes much time or effort, hey?
Well, I think people, yeah, exactly, and that's dangerous to spend a lot of time on it because it's so easy to get sucked in and just keep, you're like, oh, it's only like a couple of, 6-second videos, and you think it's only a couple of short ones, but those For You pages get you because you keep scrolling and there's even more, and it's still, of course, content that's created and specified, and the algorithm is such that it's content that you will like based on the content that you've already kind of watched in the past. So it will be curated for you. So the content that you get out of all the millions and millions of TikToks out there is going to be things that are going to keep you sucked in.
Yeah, because people talk about the addictive nature of the content,
So,
and I guess
yes.
when you're not really using it yourself, you might be like, oh wait, why would it be addictive? But because of at the minimum of 6 seconds hooked on, and I think Vine also has an element of addiction to it. But TikTok, I definitely think, because not only is it short videos, but because the For You page is really, really good algorithm, I find I was
gonna say also the main feature. I'm not sure if this was the case with Vine. Is the videos start playing automatically, there's no play button.
As soon as you open
scroll
it,
and it plays. Yeah. And I think a lot of other social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook have adopted that simple change just to not even give the user the chance to decide, do I actually want to sit here and watch this or not? No, it already starts playing, and by the time it plays, it's already got you lured in.
You took my heart away. Sundari Furi go, Faina se Kuria, Facebook, Uttare bhayankar jangal, dakhine na jawai mongol, purbo paschim dui dinante nodi. Mathai buddhi nayak tola, kami dola atto mola. Nakar nolok kaner do, chora chori khopai phol, aro dimu jilmili oi shari re.
Speaking of TikTok, then, I think you were saying that you created your first one, so that means you have an account admin. So tell us about your experience using TikTok.
I don't, to be honest, I've only recently, actually made an account and, started to, actually play with its features. But in the past, I've just used it to kind of scroll, I'm really conscious of not using it a lot. So if I'm really, really bored is when I'll go on to, I've done my rounds of all the other social media apps. I've done Instagram, seen everyone's stories. I didn't really use Instagram, actually. Instagram, yeah.
Really? Because I used
Snapchat.
to,
I don't really use Snapchat much.
I feel like I'm aware, I've been over the years that we've been friends, I've been aware of, where your primary app has been, and I always feel like it's been primarily Instagram, but now you're telling me, you're telling me it's not
Instagram.
anymore.
No, it is.
Oh, it is Instagram. Oh, sorry.
It's only if I'll go through, it's only if I'm, done my rounds of Instagram that I'll go to TikTok. So most days I won't even get to TikTok. It's only if I'm, scrolled enough of Instagram, I'm like, oh, I'm bored, I want to try something else, and nothing else to do is coming up. So it's only, once a month or something, or twice a month that I actually make it, go to the effort of actually going on TikTok. That's if I'm really, really bored.
Once a month?
Yeah, I don't use it often.
Wow, okay.
I don't use it often at all. I used to use it more, when I'm around my sisters, because, they go on it a lot, and then so I'll just watch it from, their screen. I'll be like, oh, I'll just watch them endlessly. I'm like, oh, what was that video? I'm annoying. Because, just if you want to watch the video, then get TikTok yourself. Stop watching it off my screen. But yeah, I don't go on it that often. Probably have gone on it often a bit more, but still, it's not my first choice. My first choice is Instagram, and then I'll probably go on Snapchat as my second choice. I do use Messenger to kind of message people, and WhatsApp to message people, and some of my work stuff is on WhatsApp. So they're the 4 that I kind of rotate between. And in between those 4, if I ever get a chance, and I'm waiting or doing something, or just have time in my spare time on my head, that's when I'll open TikTok. Maybe because I know it's addictive. Maybe because I know if I open it, I won't stop. Yeah, so that's my kind of experience. And I use it, I guess, for like motivation. I get a lot of motivational videos. I get a lot of daily routines. I get a lot of food videos, beauty.
Okay.
I
Have you
think
seen Emily Mariko, the
yeah,
lady who
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I definitely have seen her homemade recipes. Yes, I get a lot of homemade recipes. I get a lot of restaurant
Yeah, so
recommendations.
just for the
Travel.
explanation of our viewers, Emily Mariko actually got really popular on TikTok because she would basically do this thing where it was like a salmon and rice dish. So, but when she heated up her rice, she would place a piece of ice in it and then cover it, and people like would be like, "What is this ice for? What does the ice do?" And so she got really popular for that dish, and then a lot of cooking sort of users who post cooking videos are pretty popular on TikTok. But yeah, I just remember
I
there
would
was
say, yeah, I was gonna say there's an added element of the ASMR. Like she use ASMR, so
yeah.
that's like when you can basically what users will do to make their videos more interesting is they'll add a sound element to it. So when she does her food videos, you're not just watching her make the food, you can hear her as she opens the plastic wrapper. You can hear the chopping of her carrot. So it adds like an additional kind of like sensory experience to the video.
So true.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of her fame was always just the ASMR that she incorporated into her
huge part of
short
that
videos.
appeal. Yeah, just listening to her cut up veggies. Yeah, oh my god, music to my ears.
So basically, if people do like listening to ASMR and music, it's really interesting. So what do you use TikTok for?
So I don't use TikTok. I have definitely had periods. So I
feel like you definitely used to, because I used to remember watching TikTok from your phone. I didn't have TikTok. I used to watch them, or you used to show me things on your phone.
Yep. So like, I was just about to say I've had periods where I've used it, but I don't currently use it. So I basically had like 2 periods of using it, and the first period was when I didn't really know too much about it. I was a little bit wary because there was a little bit of negative press in the sense that because it is owned by a foreign company, I guess users weren't necessarily sure of the security. Like that was a little bit in the media, so I was just a bit like, oh, okay, well if it's not necessarily safe, in fact, like I mean, even if I just type in the words, is TikTok, and then I hover in Google, the first ones are, is TikTok bad? Is TikTok spyware? Is TikTok dangerous? Is TikTok banned? So those are common things that are searched for in association with TikTok. But then I was kind of like, look, to be honest, I feel like, I've had social media for a while and they probably all have my information. So then I caved and I just got it. And oh my God. When I got it, I was like, oh my God, I was wasting time like nothing else. I literally, it had to come to me. I came to a point where it was 4 a.m. and I was like, I've been on TikTok 8 hours straight. This is a problem. I clearly cannot manage this because I do have a bit of an addictive personality. So I tend to avoid things that I suspect will get me addicted, and that was the straw for me. And that was when I was like, no, I need to cold turkey cut it off. And I wasn't happy about it. I wasn't sharing about it because, I find that for me, I was getting a lot of dopamine because I would get a lot of sort of TikToks that were a little bit funny or just a bit relatable. So I was getting a lot of content that was people of color, women of color, and a bit of cooking and things like that. So that's why and it would just make me happy. It would definitely make me laugh.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah.
And that's what I was sharing with my friends. I probably those were probably the videos I was showing you, because my second time on TikTok was a lot shorter, and I forget why I hopped on it. I think I might have hopped on it because the thing that you were talking about, and then which was you getting inspiration from it. I think I was, the whole that girl trend. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It was basically a lot of videos of women doing really aspirational things doing food prep, cleaning videos and things like that. So I got really motivated. So I actually ended up getting TikTok for the second time, which was many months later. Many months later, I was like, oh, I really miss how specific and curated that algorithm was, because to be honest, apart from TikTok, I use YouTube and Reddit. Definitely, Reddit is my. While you say Instagram is your main app, Reddit is my main app. Reddit is my addiction.
Yeah.
And then, but YouTube, I do really love because I've been watching YouTube since I was 14. So YouTube's always going to be in my heart. But YouTube's algorithm in recent years has become so poor that it's
really?
It's really terrible when you're a daily user of YouTube and you just like you're sitting there, you're refreshing 20 times, and the first video is nothing that you want to watch. You know something's wrong with this algorithm.
Really?
Yeah, so and a lot of people
I get videos that I really like. I'm like, oh damn it, they got me again. Like they get mine really, they get mine really good. They get, like I watch one video and then or like 2 videos and it's like always on my recommended now. And I'm
maybe it's good for you, and I don't know if it's maybe because you don't.
Maybe you're a light user.
Maybe you're a light. Maybe because you're a light user, but like you know, in the recent years, it's a very commonly complained about thing by YouTubers themselves that you know YouTube changed up the algorithm for monetization purposes, but it's actually ruined the user experience. So it's actually something it's actually something that's a factual phenomenon, and I find it on a daily basis. I'm very irritated with my YouTube feed. So I think I got to a point where I was like, I really remember how, you know, nice and inspirational those videos were, and therefore that's what made me get TikTok back. In fact, it was like 2 a.m. or something, and I messaged my friend. I'm like, guess who's back? Like I messaged her on TikTok, and the next morning she sent me 20 videos that she was just waiting for me. Because, like, the other thing that's really interesting about TikTok is it's difficult to share unless your friend has the app. Like it will force you to try to log in, or you have to download the video, and not all users allow you to download the video. You have to download the video and then share it as like your video. So it's actually a really smart thing. It's not fun as on the other side of it, but like they kind of force you to sign up. Like if you get linked to one video, if you try to click the next video, you have to sign up.
Okay, I get you.
But I found with the second round of me being on TikTok, I don't know if something happened with my algorithm or just like maybe it was just the trends at the time, but I found that I was being shown things that I definitely was not wanting. So I was getting a bit more mature content directed my way, and those weren't things that I really wanted to see, and that was actually why I ended up getting off it for the second time. And it's not so, and in that sense, I do worry a little bit about the audience, because, you know, like to be quite frank, many things posted would be considered something called softcore pornography. So knowing that lots of kids will sign up for apps, you know, they might not reach the age limit, I do find it a little bit concerning. And, you know, for example, if I had younger kids in my life, and I will, like my nieces will grow up to try to access apps, I'll be like, nope, sorry, hun. You're going to have to get to that age, because, I don't think that when it comes to that line of things, and not even just saying that, but also violence, there has been a watched suicide, not only on TikTok, but on Facebook as well.
Really?
So I'm not saying like it's TikTok's fault or anything like that. This is the risk with a lot of social media platforms.
Yeah, when you open it up to the world, yeah.
Yeah, but I do think that it's really on, like, parents and guardians to make sure that the young people in their life, they are, like, because I think internet security, internet safety is really, really important. As I get older, I have more of the protective perspective, because when I was growing up and I'd hear things like internet security, I'd be like, what do you mean? The internet's fine. Even though now I think about certain things that I've done on the internet. For example, like we went in high school, we went on a chat server. And, you know, like we thought we were so cool. And we were talking to, you can talk to anyone and you don't know who's on the other side. So just to sort of mention, I guess, a little bit more of the potential negatives of social media, and just to encourage safety and encourage awareness and educating yourself. Yeah, I just want to mention those.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. And like if you think of now, like the future of TikTok, that's a really good consideration around the safety of it. The users are quite young. Like you'll see that TikTok is massive. It is blowing up. It is everywhere in the whole world. A lot of brands, like the biggest brands, are turning towards TikTok for their main kind of promotional channels, or their main advertisements. Yeah, the main advertisements are all kind of done through TikTok campaigns. but it's still not the biggest social media platform out there, and that's because most of the users are young. You won't see your grandpa or your parents or even maybe some of your older siblings, and they may not be using TikTok. But whereas they would all still kind of have Facebook, so Facebook still is the number one. But TikTok is quite the most popular or the fastest growing probably amongst the younger generation, I would say. But yeah, you're right. It is quite important to make sure that it is being used safely. And, you never know. Will TikTok continue to succeed and continue to keep growing and growing as it has? Because we saw, as you mentioned, Vine was a very similar platform, but it did not last and did not stay around. So we're not sure. Will TikTok stay around or what will happen? But yeah, right now, I think we can say that TikTok is around to stay.
The sample TikTok music clips used in this program were collected from YouTube. We have reached the end of our program. We hope that you have enjoyed. We invite you to send your opinion to Bangla Radio Canberra to the following email, banglaradio@gmail.com. You're invited to follow Bangla Radio on Twitter and Facebook. If you join our Facebook or Twitter group, we will send you our weekly program description. Our programs are archived in banglaradio.org.au website and on our new Bangla Radio Canberra YouTube channel. If you want, you can also listen to all of our previous programs anytime on your mobile device using our Bangla Radio Canberra Listen app. This Listen app is now freely available from Apple App Store and Google Play Store. The next Bangla Radio program will be broadcasted on next Monday at 8 p.m. We welcome you to join us. Wherever you are, we hope that you stay well in peace and happiness. Good night.